just a Christmas crisis bat doodle. I had a lot of fun making it, and with most of my drawings, I was happiest with it at the sketch phase. I thought he looked quite cute, and I would only go on to slightly ruin that as I tried desperately to turn this image into color. Color isn't necessarily my strong suit, but with this drawing I decided to kind of go for it by trying to turn my relatively simple character into something a bit more colorful than I usually opted for. I think that I have a better handle upon black and white than I do color, but it would be lying to say I have a good handle on either of those things, as I don't practice as often as I should. One of the major problems I ran into in the sketch phase of this drawing were his feet, because for some reason I gave him these three-pronged fork flipper feet that couldn't possibly be of any use in locomotion, so I did try at some point to pose them to make them more fun, but in the end I defaulted to what I was comfortable with. Oh, did you see that there? I almost decided to play with texture, and then I didn't. It's gonna be smooth, very smooth, because I didn't know what I was doing. A big mistake that I made in this whole process was not refining the line art before I went in with color, and I didn't have the energy, I had plenty of energy. I was too lazy to go back and clean up the edges of the color blocks I had laid down, so I would then have to add in more definition by lining over it again later, which would be a pain. At this point I've completed the eyes, and I'm quite pleased with how those turned out, even though I think it's a little bit creepy that they look kind of realistic, and the yellow sclera, however you say it, looks a little bit questionable, but I don't think you notice it as much in the final piece. Anyways, here I am adding in the Christmas lights. I kind of wish that I had wrapped them around his wings a little bit more, made him look a little bit more tangled in them, or maybe bundled him up a bit, but it is what it is. That's what I chose to do. At this point, I'm adding in a background. I'm not very good at backgrounds, they are not my strong suit, and I am not very good at picking colors. I'm really happy with how the final results turned out color-wise, although I will say that I was aided by the fact that this brush seemed to create some small variation within each brush stroke, and that kind of lent it some more cohesiveness than I would have been able to bring it myself. Anyways, that teal would frustrate me so much because I put it in without a thought and then I spent ages undoing it. There, it went by in a second in this time lapse. Oh, that's how the teeth turned out. I couldn't remember. Anyways, here I am coloring up the lights. I really feel like that brought this entire drawing to life. I don't know why, I just really find it really fun to make things shiny, to make things bright, although I didn't look up references for those lights and I probably should have. Towards the end of this, I'll try to do some more fancy stuff by deepening the shadows. I don't know what that means. And doing stuff that I don't know if it looks good, but I tried. Towards the bottom, I'll add in some really dark shadow in the end that I don't really think was necessary, but it's there. Either way, I'm still really happy with how this turned out in the end, so yes, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope you have wonderful holidays.